advantage of. The first one's the Downtown Rescue Mission. The second is the Salvation Army. Then we have a unique community warming center, which is at 2820 Governor's Drive in the living room property, and then the First Stop organization. HPD will be able to transport on an emergency basis to one of those locations when needed. When the shuttles are running, they will be able to transport also at that time. Last night, the overnight numbers for the warming centers, we had a total of 335 in the combined shelters. 242 were at the Downtown Rescue Mission, 33 at the Salvation Army, and 60 were at the Community Warming Center. In addition, we had an additional 144 individuals that would go through First Stop or the Community Warming Center to get resources like a warm meal, a blanket, or things like that. They would come in and out. So again, we started planning for this last year. We do have a system in place that we can address the needs of our unsheltered community or someone who is vulnerable and may have trouble getting into some warmth at this time of year. So anyone have any questions, I'll be glad to address it. Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go to Chris McNeese, Huntsville Public Works.
Thank you, Jeff. We're going to reiterate this again as it has in the past a couple of times. If you don't have to be out on the roads today, please don't. A lot of social media pictures are going through social media, and you can see a lot of those sites if you get on your social media to see the snow pictures that are floating around. But what we're doing, just to give you a quick overview, we have Public Works has about 80 personnel that we have working this event 24/7. We're going to be here until the event is gone. So we will be. We have all of our motor graders out in these elevated areas, as mentioned before. I myself got out and drove this morning, went down the Parkway, went up Mountain Gap Road. It's extremely slippery, even though Parkway has been treated. They did a wonderful job treating it. It is melting some, but there are some slippery places. As the temperature starts to drop, you're going to see some isolated locations where ice is going to begin to form. So please do your best. If you have to get out on the road, please drive slow. Please use extreme caution. So I went around to Mountain Gap Road, went to Green Mountain. We have motor graders on Green Mountain blading off the snow. It's easy for us to blade the accumulated material. Keep that in mind. This dry snow is great for us in the county and the state when we're removing accumulated material. But when it comes to ice, it's going to be more difficult this evening. Whenever temperatures drop, driving conditions will become more hazardous. So please, use extreme caution. But just to give you a quick oversight of what we're doing, Public Works is doing throughout the city. Out in the western area, we have motor graders out on the Greenbrier Parkway. They're cleaning for that particular corridor to allow folks that are having to go to work that we can minimize the hazards to the traveling public, get them to work and back. Hopefully they'll have that clear path. As Council Chair McCutcheon has said repeatedly, it is a partnership what we're doing, and it fully is, because we have multi-jurisdictional areas out in the west. One of those areas is down around the airport, where you have Boeing Boulevard, Wall Triana, County Line Road, Martin Road. And Steve Haraway's crew has stepped up, coming out there in full force to help out and clear some of those corridors to make sure that we have a clear path for the traveling public that is needing to respond to work and be on the roads. And in the north side of town, we have the Pulaski Pike, Bob Wade Lane corridors that we're clearing as well with motor graders and plows. Please keep in mind all the associated corridors, that's the collector roads that are associated with those main paths that I'm mentioning. We're going to address those as well. As you come down to the south, you're going to see downtown. There will be some construction equipment downtown. You're probably going to see a couple of skid steers getting in some of the tighter areas of downtown, again, to remove this accumulated material. So be aware if you're on the road and you see equipment out, please use extreme caution. When you get up on the south end of town, you've got the Greenbrier, you got Montesano, you got Cecil Ashford Drive. We have pieces of equipment on all of those, clearing those constantly. Even though some of the roads are closed, please do not drive on the closed roads. Please do not go around the barricades. You will have issues. Police department will address those shortly. So just please pay attention to all the road closures. And just know that the City of Huntsville Public Works, we have the personnel that will be here. We'll be working this event again until it's concluded. So thank you.
Chief Giles, Huntsville Police Department.
Thank you, Joe. So the message has been pretty consistent in respect to asking, urging everybody, please stay at home, please don't get out and drive. One thing I want to add to what Chris just said, to reemphasize the fact that you should not drive around a barricade because the road is closed. But for the roads that are still open, it does not mean that they're not treacherous. Please evaluate your need for getting out to begin with. We're working 24/7 like we normally do. And so we are out there. We will check on you if you get stranded and so forth. But please do not call the 911 or the non-emergency number if there's not a need for it. You can go to social media and those platforms and get the same information that we're giving you here. So please take your time, evaluate your needs, and let's go from there and let's have a safe weekend. Thank you.
Now we'll have Sheriff Kevin Turner from Madison County Sheriff's Office.
I'd like to echo just a little bit of what everyone has said so far. We are fully staffed throughout the Sheriff's Office answering calls. We've upped the staffing a little bit to monitor the roads out in the county. The county's a little bit different than inside the city. When you start getting off of the main roads, then you start talking about the back roads where people have neighborhoods and they're living. The further this day goes on, it's going to get a little bit worse when that freezing rain hits. So when temperature drops, it's going to freeze over. And when you run into barricades and it's closed roads, we need to make sure that, we have them up for a reason. It's for your public safety and to make sure that everyone stays safe. So I got to give a shout out to our commissioners who are out here working. I've been up since 4:30 this morning and I've been able to talk with each one of them. They were out plowing the roads as we speak and really making a difference out in the county. So, anything that the public needs, feel free to call the Sheriff's Office. We are up and running, as the Chief said, 24/7. So we have our staffing numbers up today, so I think we're up for the challenge. I do want to say one thing, but Chris got up here and said the word partnership. And that is what the city of Huntsville and Madison County does best, is work together. Our two agencies are working together along with Public Works, along with the County Commission. And the guy standing behind me is really what gets this town through situations like this. So thank you.
Chief Matt McFarland, Huntsville Fire Department.
Good morning, everyone. To the folks watching, just want everybody to be safe today. A lot of things have been already talked about the barricades. I'm going to mention them again, and I'll just put it real simply. Don't make us have to come around those barricades in our trucks to come get you. You have no reason to be around there. There's nothing past that you have to get to. When those roads are closed, to stay off those closed roads. Another thing to help us with call volume, a lot of times one of the things that happens is we'll actually have a car go off the road, and hopefully, luckily, nobody's hurt, but they can't get it out. They're going to leave it there a while. They're waiting on a wrecker. So you see a car that's coming off the road. It looks like it's been an accident, and maybe it has. If you're coming by and you think there's somebody there that needs help, dial 911. But look, one of the things we do that causes us a lot of extra runs is that car doesn't get moved, and in the past, we've got multiple calls 30 minutes apart. We're going back to the same wreck. So all of our responders are tying yellow scene tape, just like you see on the scene. If we work an instant and the car's there and nobody's in it, or we've transported the person that's in it, the car's still there, our responders are going to tie yellow scene tape, either like on the mirror or the antenna or the doorknob. Look, if you see a car that's got yellow scene tape on it on the side of the road, it's okay. That means we've already worked it. Everything is good for that. That'll be a much less calls that we won't have to respond back out on. Right now, our call volume is running about normal. We've not been excessive, thankfully, because everybody's staying off the road. But for our side of it, that comes another thing. A lot of people's home. That's a good thing. But one of our major causes of fires throughout the United States and in Huntsville is cooking fires. So you're going to be home today. Be safe with your cooking. Think about your cooking. If you got something on cooking and you get a phone call in another room or something else distracts you, don't forget about your cooking. One of the things we advise, if you've got something on the stove and you have to walk away, take the spoon or that spatula or whatever you're working with, keep it in your hand, take it with you, so in a minute you remember, hey, wait a minute, I got something on the stove, if you have to do that. So let's avoid the home fires also with that. So these are just things y'all can do to help us, and we hope we'll all get through this together. We'll all get through it safe and
And like I will reiterate again, like everyone said a few minutes ago, it's a team effort. It's a great team effort with the City of Huntsville, Madison County, City of Madison, all the fire services. Since I'm the fire representative here, we're all talking. Huntsville Fire is talking with Madison Fire. We're talking about all the volunteer departments in the county, talking with our partners with HEMC. We're all working together to try to make it safe for everyone, and these are a few little things that we ask of you. Another thing that I will throw out there, historically, we look at historically events like this. What did we learn from the last one? What did we do? And each agency has their own stories. One of the things that we see that winds up tragic sometimes is snow's pretty, it's fun to play in. And then we see people that's in sledding accidents, that's never rode a sled before, and then they don't know that sleds don't have brakes on them. So when you go down this hill, and we wind up getting to pick you up and take you to the hospital, hopefully the hospital, at the bottom of that hill when this wasn't planned. So think about your activities, even if you go outside. Think about what you're going to do. You don't want to be the one that this beautiful snow turns you into a broken arm at the emergency room or worse. So just think about what you're doing. Try to be safe, and we'll all get through this together. Thank you.
All right, now we'll go to Mayor Tommy Battle, City of Huntsville.
First off, thank you to all the agencies that have been working this. They've been working it all week. Now's action time, and everybody's gone into action and is doing a great job. We thank them for all their work. I was up here at 4 this morning. They were here way before me, making sure that everything was done that was necessary. Just be weather aware between the 12 to 4 period. That is when ice and sleet may be coming in, and that may be the dangerous time of this, most dangerous time of this whole storm. That's not a time that you want to be on the road if there's ice and sleet coming in. Be weather aware. We'll all get through this together, and we'll see each other on the other side on Monday. So thank you.
All right, Chairman Mac McCutcheon, Madison County Commission.
Well, I just ditto everything that's been said. We started this weather event working together as a team, planning, putting things in place, and as of this morning, now that the snow is coming in, everything seems to be working in a plan. It's very, very important that the public understand the conditions out there and they try to help each other. To Chris McNeese and the county commission crews working on the roads themselves. So far, the equipment that we have has been responding very well to the type precipitation that we have, which is a good thing, but that's, according to our forecast, may change today, and we start dealing with some ice. Then people need to understand, you may have been out this morning and said, oh, you can move around out there. Well, that could change very, very quickly this afternoon. So you need to be aware of that. And I know in our plans we're looking and anticipating that ice, which could make a drastic change in the way we plan for things. And just encourage people to help each other. This morning, I was out early this morning checking our crews in the commission districts. Some of them have been on site all night. They were out very early this morning. Equipment, like I said, is responding well. But this morning coming in, there was an elderly person sitting at a bus stop. And of course, with the conditions on the road, the buses were not running this morning. The person had a walker with the icing and the snow, and I'm thinking, what in the world is this person doing here? And it was very dangerous. And so with the shelters we have, help each other. If you know a neighbor or somebody that has a need, help them, get them to the right place, because we have resources available for everybody in every need. So let's get the information out. I just say thank you to the team. Let's keep doing what we're doing and moving forward. Thank you.
All right, finally we'll call up Mayor Paul Finley, City of Madison, to come and wrap us up.
All right, appreciate it. All right, well, as we close up this, I want to thank first and foremost our media that's here today. You know, information is power, and their airtime is valuable. And the fact that all of them are here to help us share this information is critical to us and the success we have from a team. That's one that is a team, and getting information out is critical. I echo everything everybody said. I will say, coming from Madison today, two things that I am proud that we did is, first, drive as slow as we could, and then secondly, know that when we needed to stop, we had to give plenty of time. It is slick out there, and if you're in your neighborhoods right now and there's any type of hill, there is going to be a need to go slow and pay a lot of attention. I was really proud of how many, I think there's 7 different folks plowing from Madison to here at Huntsville City Hall that I saw. Madison Public Works, Steve Harroway was literally driving the truck with a salt truck behind him, and then 3 or 4 different things in Huntsville. We are out right now trying to get the snow off, but as everybody has said, the critical time will be this afternoon, and that's the flux of ice, and that's what we can't predict. And as I close, I will say this: as a mayor, you know, people a lot of times ask, what is it like being a mayor? And I can tell you this: it's great having people who have focused on this all the time. And then when something like this happens, they've thought of everything that they can, and then they put it into action. Our job is to take away their inhibitors and make sure that they can do everything they can to make sure our community is safe and can move when they need to. And this team that we have is phenomenal from both cities and the county. I'll end by saying need versus want again. I know a lot of times, what a beautiful scene this morning when I looked out, had a little bit of light and a cup of coffee, snow falling. It was gorgeous. Some of you will think, man, wouldn't it be great to have a latte or a hot chocolate with that? It would. That is not a need. That is a want. If you have it at home, make it. If you need something, if you want something, stay home. Stay home and enjoy this beautiful scenery that we have. We'll work to get everything taken care of and hopefully have, once we know what this ice does, be in a better position tomorrow to keep you updated and let you know what's happening. So again, thank you to everybody who's doing that. I think Jeff would say we'll take any questions that you guys have.
Before we go to questions, just a couple of things. Want to update on the schedule. Obviously, our next press briefing like this will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning at this location. Until then, I encourage everybody to follow all the websites of Madison County Commission, Huntsville City, Madison City, as well as EMA for any updates. One other additional scheduling event is there will be a media gaggle, that's Kelly's word, not mine, this afternoon at 3:30. And we will have representatives from Huntsville Police Department and the Sheriff's Office to talk about road conditions. So given that, we'll open it up for questions. Hearing no questions, then we will finish up. Thank you for coming.
Good job up there.